Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm with Indigo Ocean, and we're having what I know is going to be a very alive conversation. Indigo Ocean is the founder of the People of Color Manifesting Destiny group. She's a retired conscious business consultant and also the author of Being Bliss. What a beautiful, beautiful title. And Indigo, I feel quite vulnerable and I feel uncomfortable and we need to talk about it. So you and I were having a conversation on Facebook and I really learned a lot from you. We were talking about racism and what we can all do right now. So what do you think we can all be doing? How can we be helpful at this time?
Well, I think that the most important place is where you start, right? So where do we locate that question within us, right? If we locate it right here, unfortunately, I think we're going to get to some pretty shallow answers. But if we can locate it right here, really like in the heart, and for some people it goes deeper. You can't see where I'm holding my belly, but some people it comes from the belly. But I relate personally most to where it comes from the heart, so I'll speak to that. If we locate the question here, then we know that we have to tap into our body being to get the answer, right? We know we can't get an answer from our head that answers a question that came from the heart. So first we have to ask the question from the right place and make sure that we're willing to go to that place for the answer. Because a lot of people are not willing to. If I'm speaking only to say white Americans, I'm going to speak specifically to that. And then other people can relate to that from their own histories and their family histories and their national histories and things and adapt it, right? But let me speak only to that. To be able to come from that with the question, you have to first be willing to face that there's some shame and guilt and sadness and anger and resentment. And in that resentment, to one's foreparents who put you in the position you are now in, right? It was what they did that generation upon generation upon generation is carried down to you and put you in this position. And you have resentment about that, whether you acknowledge it or not. And it is very painful to be angry at people you love, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is very painful to have your respect diminished for people you love who have made some very, very ugly choices. So coming to terms with that, like if you're going to go into your heart, that's what you're going to find there. But you're also going to find the answers to how you come from that place and create solutions that heal people's hearts, that heal this situation in a way that is also deeply embodied, not just the idea of healing. So that's where I would begin. It takes a lot of courage to come from that kind of compassion for yourself, for your ancestors, and for the world that you are in fact creating with everything you do right now.
Mm-hmm. And are there some specific practices that you would suggest that I use and we use to help that sense of embodied heart that you're speaking of?
Yes. And again, I'm going to come just from my perspective of what helps me with my part of this, which is the only thing I really know. But I have a sense that for a lot of people, the same thing will kind of resonate for them too, even if they're coming to it from a different direction. And which we have to meet in the body, right? If we look at nature itself, we can learn a lot from that. And just for the sake of time, I won't go into a lot of metaphors on that, though I could. But I will speak to this one element of that, and that is that we have to feel it, right? We have to be it. The title of my book, it's not doing peace. It's not creating peace. It's being bliss. Be it. And we are spirit incarnated in physical bodies. So we have to be it in our bodies. So for me, it starts with a dance practice, or you can call it just movement, because a lot of times people think dance is for someone to see it. And this is actually like dance that you would do with eyes closed. And it's allowing first music to bring you into your body, bring you into the rhythms of life, allowing that to be embodied. It also is working out some of your emotional energy that we also carry in our bodies. And there are very strong currents that are moving right now of a planet where our entire species is trying to up level to a different level of civilization. And we're in that place where it either collapses or it grows, right? And that's a hard place to be. The whole planet is in that place. So the energy is really strong. So all of us are being buffeted about by these waves of different conflicting energies, and we're being pulled into all these emotions. And so one of the things that the dance does is you're selecting specific music that has a certain quality to it emotionally, and then you're giving yourself to that. And if you take a certain journey with that, it can land you in a place where you've worked off all the nervous energy and you're able to be emotionally available, and you're also able to tune into a deeper level of where wisdom is held in your body, of where your own spirit has always been speaking to you, telling you what is your activism right now. What are you to do when you get up? You know, the dance kind of ends lying down, right? And then in the end, you just let the music wash through you, right? When you get up, what are you to do? Not some story up here. What am I doing? What's the story of me? No. What is the action? When you get up, what you've just embodied something. What is it? What is the body going to do now as the next action? And then you do it. However small it is, you have that intentionality when you move into the dance, and you have that intentionality when you move out of the dance, and then you do it. I don't care if it's something as small as finding a get out of jail bail fund for protesters and donating $10 to it. Maybe it is that small. Maybe it's going to a group that, you know, gets food to people who need food right now, and there's no food in the food pantries, and they've used up their food stamps, or they can't qualify for food stamps. You also talked about, you know, different things that people can do. So I don't think I really need to go into that. It's more a question of what is it for that individual to do right now? And you do the simplest thing that is right in front of you. You just do it. And you realize that if you keep doing that, if you make your life the ritual act of praying for guidance from your spirit, and then hearing that clearly and acting upon it, you will be shown more and more and more. And at some point, maybe you'll take on the big things that have lots of different parts that take maybe months to do that thing. But it will only be shown to you with clarity, with that knowing that, yeah, this is what I'm doing. That will only be shown to you after you have demonstrated the ritual act of doing the little things.
Yes. Thank you so much, Indigo. And I'm reminded of remembering to embody my heart, and what is the smallest thing that I can do, and even when I'm feeling vulnerable, to keep showing up.
Yes. Emotionally showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Indigo.
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
It's an honor.
Mm.